What our administration demonstrated was what you just said, Senator, that America First is not America alone. It just means America putting the interest of our nation's security, of our workers, of our prosperity first, just like every other country in the world does for their nation. And that being said, then we called upon nations in Europe and across the Asia Pacific to step up and do more, and they did.
National Republican leaders Mike Pence and Larry Hogan addressed America's foreign policy in Des Moines this weekend. Iowa GOP Senator Joni Ernst interviewed both former Vice President Pence and former Maryland Governor Hogan at an event sponsored by the Bastion Institute.
The crisis at our southern border is 100% man-made. Under the Trump-Pence administration, we not only built hundreds of miles of wall, provided our border personnel what we needed, but we negotiated that Remain in Mexico agreement with Mexico. We literally reduced illegal immigration and asylum abuse by 90%. And we can do it all again. But it takes the right policies, the right negotiation with Mexico, demanding that Mexico secure their southern border and do a part to secure ours. The equal crisis of this moment, which is the flow of illegal drugs, most especially fentanyl, that's coming into every community in this country and claiming lives. Border security is national security. We have to have leadership that's willing to use American strength, the strength of the American economy, and invest in resources to secure our border. And I know we will. I know we will. America's the leader of the free world. And if America's not leading the free world's not being led. We're also the arsenal of democracy. And since the days of Ronald Reagan, we embraced what came to be known as the Reagan Doctrine. It was a very simple idea that he first expressed in a State of the Union address in 1985, in which he said to countries around the world, if you're willing to fight the communists in your country with your soldiers, we'll give you the means to fight them there so we don't have to fight them here. The war in Ukraine is not a territorial dispute. It is a Russian invasion. And I believe the United States of America needs to continue to demand that the free world join us in giving the courageous fighters in Ukraine the resources that they need to repel the Russian invasion. I believe it. One of the things I'm proudest of the Trump-Pence administration is we changed the national consensus on China. I mean, the truth is, for the past 20 years, there was the hope that as we engaged in more economic commerce with China, that you would see China essentially embrace some core principles that we cherish: private property, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and would become less confrontational militarily. What we realize in our administration is that the opposite has actually happened. As China's grown wealthier, they've actually become more authoritarian. And the military aggression that they have shown and provocations that they have done throughout the Asia Pacific have only increased. We are China's largest market. I think as long as we remain strong on the world stage, and as long as we continue to build our relations with our allies in Japan and South Korea and in Australia, and no less extent India, that every single step in the direction of strength will lessen the possibility of confrontation in the future.
It's widely speculated that Pence will make a run for president in 2024 against his ex-boss, former President Donald Trump. But he gave only a slight hint of that possibility in his closing remarks Saturday.
And I just want to promise all of you Iowans, whether I'm seeing a lot more of you soon or not, embrace that role, find that leadership once again, and we'll bring America all the way back and then some for our children and our grandchildren.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Kuhn.